Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Put the dogs under the bed. Put the dogs under the bed. The fake service dogs. Put them out the house. Put them out the house. But everybody else, you know, get under the bed on tonight. Welcome to the NC Beat, y'all. Y'all ready? Let's go.
I'm on my way to the trail ride.
Y'all still live tonight. You know what you watching from? Hey,
I'm on my way.
We live, baby.
To see my baby, to see my lady. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. We on our way to the trail ride, to the fish fry. I'ma step tonight to give me a shot. Hey, I'm on my way. Fill my cup up to see my baby. I'm fucked up. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. I'ma step this way. So when she look my way, I can stare her in the face and keep her wet all day. She's a cowgirl lady, I'm cooking fish and fry. I say slipping and sliding. I got my hands on her thighs. She ready for trail ride. I got my crew in the truck, apple crown in my cup. I got my baby saddled up. We on the way. I got the step with my cup, and you know what's going up until the DJ turn me up. I'm on my way to the trail ride, to the fish fry, to give me a shot. Hey, I'm on my way to see my baby. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. We on our way to the trail ride, to the fish fry, to give me a shot. Hey, I'm on my way to see my baby. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. I'ma do my thing, ain't worried about a thing. I'm a stepson of rain. I want you but not your games. Let me have my way. I'm my way with you, baby. And we might just have a baby, cause you look real tasty. Got me caught up in your vibe. I'm in your mind. Girl, you're sweeter than a pie. Baby, don't be shy. Let's take our time and do it right. Steppers, do what you do, and how you moving and grooving. I see you step into the music. The trail ride is what we do it. I'm on my way to the trail ride, to the fish fry, to give me a shot. Hey, I'm on my way.
Y'all a couple more minutes.
To see my baby, see my lady. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. We on our way to the trail ride, to the fish fry, to give me a shot. Hey, I'm on my way to see my baby. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. On the way to the trail ride, on the way to the trail ride, to the trail ride. I'm on my way to the trail ride, to the trail ride. On my way to the trail ride. On my way to the trail ride. I'm on my way to the trail ride. I'm on my way to the trail ride, to the trail ride, to the fish fry, to give me a shot. Hey, I'm on my way to see my baby. Cause lately, she been at the crazy. We on our way to the trail ride.
We on our way to the trail ride. Shout out to everybody. Let's go.
This the NCB Beat. I got a freak elite like Pablo Pete. 980 the DO4 is where the Charlotte leaks. 252 for the Greenville. Hat on blue for the Tar Heels. I can edge them on this paradox like crack foes, like the locks. We knock bolts and the notch. Now I know when he talks how I can't even announce the parascript to reach the dot. Cause when this ball point to close, my mental travel hellish spots like astro projection. Cannot conjoint the two of us if there is no connection. But you can close section. The NCB, the NCB, the NCB, the NCB. Whoa, whoa.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, I love you, Mr. Jackson, for real, I do.
I almost got away if it wasn't for that goddamn Gerald Jackson and the NC Beat mob. I almost got away. Gots to
Well, you got to be more careful when you come around here to these NCB streets. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in on tonight. I may have a special guest that's going to come up here and going to speak about Bishop Prophet Brian Carn. Y'all know Prophet Brian Carn over there at Kingdom City Church up there in Charlotte, North Carolina. We definitely going to be talking about him on tonight. Another whore, another concubine that came out and said, I slept with the prophet. She done slept with the prophet. Everybody is coming out. They coming out the woods. Who going to run out next? Who gonna run out next? Will it be China Davis? Oh, who gonna run out next? Y'all just got all kinds of stuff going on in the house of the Lord. They got some drag queen who want to be a pastor up there in Raleigh, Durham, somewhere. She about to have a drag show, New Deliverance Ministries or something. They got, I don't know what these people got going on. They having a drag church service where the drag queen's gonna come up in the church and walk down the altar. I'm saying, what is going on out here in the world? Shout out to everybody that's tuned in on tonight. Listen, make sure you share the live on tonight. We got a good show for you. We got a good show. Y'all already know we're going to Charlotte down to Ken Cook's with some whore from Connecticut, some 23-year-old dumb little girl. Somebody need to really go get her. If y'all have, you know, if you a family of Mariah Makala, whatever her name is, bring a Kala from New Haven, Connecticut, all the way down here to Charlotte and put her on and take her bag with y'all, because this girl is crazy and she out here with no family up in people inboxes spiraling out of control. You better be lucky that I'm telling the people something wrong with you, and Miss Ken Cook's been telling the people that something is wrong with you. So she tried to take her dog, you know, up into Ken Cook's and got turned right back around at the door. It was even offer, leave the dog in the car, come order your food, go back out there, sit with your dog, come back in and get your food, go about your business. But she didn't want to do that. So we're going to talk about that on tonight. We also going to talk about DaBaby done kick, what's her name? Baddies Caribbean reality star Big Gretch. Y'all know Big Gretch. I like Big Gretch. Y'all don't like Gretch. Y'all mad at Gretch because she be saying my nigga, and you know she's telling y'all this is why I was brought up and raised around. It's hard for her to get rid of that word, but you know she say she Puerto Rican and stuff, and you know she wasn't too fond. The fans wasn't too fond of her on Baddies Caribbean because of the words that she was saying. But I felt like what shit everybody else saying, why she can't say them? And I felt like she wasn't saying it in a derogatory way. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to get content. So we're going to talk about her. They was down there in Fayetteville at Apple Chill, and DaBaby told her, we don't want to see all that. You need to go out there with all that. We don't even know if he recognized her. But, you know, I like Gretch, so I'm not going to go too hard on Gretchen. We also going to go to Raleigh, North Carolina, where a black woman, where a woman has called a Hispanic lady, I'm assuming, a wetback. And I had an opportunity to speak to the lady who, you know, allegedly used the slur. And she gave me a different story than what the crybaby online is saying. And I'm like, girl, what is you crying for? What is you crying for? So we definitely going to talk about that on tonight. So if you're tuned in tonight, make sure you share the live. Don't be no hater whore. I know a lot of you hoes might be coming down here to rescue that little girl that go to that little college, you know, represent Connecticut tags, telling the people you AKA, throwing up AKA signs and everything. We're going to talk about you now. You all up in my DM. Everybody that got something to say about your big head ass, you all up in their goddamn DMs and comments. Why are you mad that, you know, we out here trying to seek justice for whoever your ass done hit? I'm definitely going to talk about you and your car today, okay? And I'm gonna talk about that little ass mutt that you toting around with this fake ass emotional support certificate that you just, you know, signed up and paid your little money for the day. You should have kept that goddamn money. Okay, that's what you should have did. You should have kept that money. But we're gonna talk about you tonight. We're gonna save the best for last, and I'm gonna see if I can get Miss Ken Cooks to call up here and find out what happened. What happened yesterday, and why are you just now registering your dog today? Ravioli head shaped. Oh, I'm gonna get you, girl. They should have told you, don't you ever come over here fucking with me. Now, I was lost and confused when you jumped up in my inbox, you know, talking about since I had so much to say. All I said was is that I'm gonna run them plates and did. Okay, I was gonna track that little dog down, found you kissing it in the mouth. And I also said, I'm weak because everything that Ken Cooks said about your ass was funny. You did all that raising hell, but as soon as them cameras and them lights and Miss Ken told your ass, come on, let me make you famous, you want to hop up in the car, but they should have got your ass for a tent violation. So you won't be trying to hide from the cameras. Ain't going outside today. But we caught you lying, girl. The baddest blogger caught you lying. We ain't seen none of your comments today. Where have you been today? Are you back in the dollhouse? Where are you at today? Has anybody seen Raya? Pants on fire from all them lies. The lies. You just like Carly Russell, girl. You ain't no better than Carly Russell. Just a liar. Just a lie and a thief, and thought we weren't gonna find out that you snapped that. You put that emoji over that date that you registered. Why you lying? Knowing your dog is scared of roaches and flies, bitch. How's this dog gonna help you, girl? We gonna get on your ass tonight. I'm gonna get you for every DM, every fan over here, every follower of the NCB that you hopped in their comments and had enough to say. But I heard you been getting slapped up all around town. They've been slapping you up, and all you can do is say ugly, and all you can do is say you want to fight. But then Miss Ken Cooks run up on your motherfucking ass, and you said, I'm 23. We don't care how old you are. If you act like an adult, you're going to get beat up like an adult, and you're going to get treated like an adult. I don't give a fuck about you being in school, okay? We don't care about that, but we're going to talk about you on tonight. But let me get on and get to these other stories so I can save a little bit of time for you tonight. I don't be holding the people hostage. So make sure you share the live on tonight. You kissing dogs up in the mouth, you bestiality, having a, you ain't got no, listen, girl, first of all, you kiss dogs in the mouth. You tongue kiss dogs in the mouth like you kissing one of them niggas that don't want your potato heads. Mr. Potato Head, ma'am, we're going to talk about you on tonight. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in on tonight. Y'all already know what time it is. Time to get to the show. Listen, don't be no hater. Let me know where you're watching from tonight. Let me shout some of y'all cities out and some of y'all hoods out on tonight. Y'all already know this gonna be a good show on tonight. This gonna be a good show tonight. I had a lot of stuff I had to get done. I'm getting ready to get on these planes. Law. Get ready to get back on this plane, child. We finna go up there to New York and cover this Diddy trial. So, you know, y'all will be seeing me up there in New York. Well, Sean Diddy Combs is on trial right now. You know, prosecutors say that he ran a criminal enterprise and brought people across state lines for a freak off. And the NCB will be there until a verdict is reached. All right, we'll be in the city sometime next week. All right, so y'all make sure y'all follow us for all of the updates on the Diddy trial and everything going on, and all of the updates that I will be bringing y'all. Shout out to everybody. I see y'all city on the screen tonight. Chapel Hill, High Point in the building. Jackson, Tennessee, Boston, Fayetteville, Broward County. Shout out to Broward County, 252. Ash, North Carolina in the building on tonight. Charleston, South Carolina, Columbus, Ohio in the building on tonight. Shout out to everybody on Facebook and everybody over there on YouTube. Yeah, help her on tonight. Y'all, come on, let's get this algorithm going on tonight. Let me see how many shares we got on tonight. Don't be scared to share the live. Okay. Let me go over here and see how many people we got watching on tonight. We got 13 shares. Now, you know what? You know what? We got 13 shares on tonight. Get these shares. What's wrong? Y'all got gout in the fingers? What's wrong? You got carpatana? All right, y'all. So make sure you share the live on tonight. Don't shout out your hood if you ain't shouted out. You know. If you ain't shared the live on tonight, all right? So listen, y'all. So it's been a lot of stuff going on in these North Carolina streets. I have been busy trying to find time to relax, trying to find time to watch a movie, watch a show. Y'all just got to catch me when I'm blogging, all right? Okay, y'all got to catch me when I'm blogging. But I got this big old jacket on tonight, y'all. So don't, I'm not big. I'm not fat, okay? Trust and believe. All right. But I got this big jacket on because I got this AC on and I love it freezing. Oh, I love the cold. I just, But anyways, so it's a lot of stuff that's been going on out here in these streets. And I know y'all been seeing it. I'm trying to catch up on a lot of it. Y'all just got to bear with me. All right. But this first story I want to talk about on tonight is Gretchen. Y'all know Big Gretch. Big Gretch, that them hoes were hating on over there on Zeus because she was saying my nigga, especially Jayla. Jayla did not like her. I am not mad at Big Gretch for biting because when you get in a fight, bite the fuck out of their ass because that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to let you know right now. If we get in a fight and you try to grab up on me, okay, I'm definitely biting the fuck out. I'm telling you, I'm going to bite your ass. So, Gretchen was the biter, all right? And, she was known on Zeus, for, saying the N-word, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? She said she Puerto Rican, mix or whatever. And, she grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? She grew up around everybody, that said that word. And I felt like she didn't say it in a derogatory way. And I understand people like, well, Gerald, they don't supposed to say that anyway. But when you watch the show and you see how she was saying it, it's not in a derogatory way. But, people don't know they don't know the difference. Like, unless you black, my color black or whatever, you ain't black, whatever. But, she said she Puerto Rican or whatever. But anyways, she was down there in Fayetteville. When was it? Saturday. And she was on stage twerking, okay, throwing that potted meat in a circle. And, one of the people who was staff at the show, was kind of telling her, come on, baby, get that meat on off the stage. And then DaBaby came back and hit her with, hey, yo, stop the music. Okay, he stopped the music. And, let me show y'all what happened.
We don't want to see all that. He moving too quick behind me. I ain't even know who the fuck you was. Trying to book me with a show. They got a bit before I go. You need the family. I ain't got no time to hold you. See, nigga, then they told you play with me. You know it's up. Hold on, kid. Got the music. Hey, whoever people this is, get shot out the stage. You don't ask for me, baby. You gotta go out there. We watching them there. We don't want to see all that. He moving too quick behind me. I ain't even know who the fuck you was. I got ready. Now look, hold on. Speaking of the ladies and them standing out here fucking their pretty ass hair up and shit to kick it with me. How many of y'all, I know y'all got some money to go get y'all shit done tomorrow. How many of y'all females out there bitch about y'all cash shit?
Look at Gretch. She was mad as hell.
That's why I put out this song for you. I appreciate you being out here.
We definitely not playing the next music. Let's turn to the next page. But Gretch was over there like, my nigga, what, man? Man, these niggas keep fuck with me, man. These niggas keep fuck with me. They keep fuck with me. Gretchen, listen, baby. I don't think Zeus is a honorable network. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's so ratchet and it's so ghetto, that I don't think it's honorable. Like, I don't think the girls are honorable. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying all of them because I do like Scotty with the body and all that stuff. We'll talk about the Zeus stuff another day. But at the end of the day, I don't think, you popping like that, baby, to go up on stage with DaBaby, okay? And, I don't even know what she performing. We don't even know how you got there, Gretch. Maybe the aliens just dropped you off from up high onto the stage or whatever. How did you get there, girl? What the fuck is you doing at Apple Chill, okay? Huh? What are you doing at Apple Chill? So, listen, Gretch, stop going to these black people shows, baby, getting on stage and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we know somebody would have hit that thing that night. We know somebody would have hit that. Trust and believe. They hit the nastiest shit. They over there hit. You see Charles over there hitting at her. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to say nothing bad about Gretch because I fuck with Gretchen. But Big Gretch, let me just say this, Gretchen. Listen, baby. Stay off these people's stage, all right? Just stay off these people's stage. They don't like you. Because you say my nigga, you ain't never say ER. We ain't never heard you say that, but they said they say you say my nigga, okay? And they don't like you, they don't want you on stage, okay? DaBaby said he ain't know who the fuck you was. You need to go out there with that, okay? So, and DaBaby, maybe she thought because she been on Zeus that she was that bitch, you know what I'm saying, or that girl, and she wanted to come up on stage and I don't know why DaBaby acting like he wouldn't hit that. Baby, you know you would hit that, DaBaby. You know you would hit little Gretchy, Gretch. You ain't gonna be doing that but hitting bones and scrubbing bones and scratching bones and screeching sounds from bones and shit like that. But at the end of the day, don't do big Gretch like that. You stopped the whole show to do that. I think DaBaby knew y'all don't like her. I think DaBaby knew who she was. And, you know, he took that moment to embarrass her. But Gretch, they don't like you, my nigga. All right? So stay on the side of the stage. I'm not going to roast you, Gretch, because I like you. I don't think you did nothing. I watched the parts and the stuff in the times you was on the show. And I don't even feel like you had an opportunity to even come in. And it really do. It was up at the door. Okay? It was up at the door with Meatball, okay? And I don't even know why they had Meatball on the show. Meatball, you cannot come to Zeus in front of all these cameras dressing like you doing a video from Philadelphia. All right, y'all. So anyways, Gretch, stay off these people's stage. They don't like you, okay, my nigga? So stay off the people's stage. All right, we go into the next story. All right, we go to the next story, child. Word on the curb, child. Lord have mercy. Word on the curb. Some woman named Andrea Lachey Ingram from Raleigh, North Carolina, was caught out here in these streets in her car with her window rolled down, calling this lady over here on the side to the right a wetback bitch. And the Hispanics are mad. Okay, but then y'all call us a little niggers every now and again. Not saying it's right, but you know, I'm minding my little business over here. But at the end of the day, I feel like it was wrong. I spoke to Miss Andrea. She had a different story than the actual girl, Miss Kayla Pantaleon. I think that's her name. She got up here with all of this fake crying in that she's so hurt that God, she's been praying to God to put her in this situation so she can fake cry, because that's what came after she said, oh, Lord, I've been praying. And then she started whispering. She gave us a good Oscar monologue or whatever it was, but it wasn't better than Taraji P. Henson or my girl Melissa McCarthy. Okay, so you're going to have to try again, man. But we're going to play the video of this lady, Miss Andrea Lachey Ingram, calling this lady over here the N-word. Now, not the N-word, but a wetback. Now, when I spoke to Miss Andrea late last night, she told me that this stuff happened last month. She said it happened last month, Gerald. She said, Gerald, it happened last month. I don't know why this lady is online putting this video out today. And I don't know either. We also attempted to reach out to the alleged victim in this incident. And y'all already know how when the video starts like this, these people are really not victims. I'm going to show you the curb that this whole thing is, you know, how this whole thing blew up so you can understand Miss Andrea's part. Because as a journalist, my job is to get both sides of the story. So when I watched the video, and I'm going to play the video in a minute. When I watched the video, I heard Miss Andrea say, bring your ass back to this car like you just did. So when she said that, I was like, it's more to the story. So let me try to find out who she is, you know, get her information. So I found out her information. I called her on her direct line, and I know she was like, how the fuck you get my number? But I called her on her direct line and I spoke to her, and you know, I'm going to tell y'all the story. I'm going to give Miss Andrea's side. I'm going to let y'all hear Miss Kayla's side so y'all can hear her side and what she said happened, you know, and we're gonna go for there, okay? But the first video I'm gonna play, and I just want to let y'all know this is sensitive content, okay? It is very graphic. If you are offended, please, I ask you to close your ears or leave the chat now or turn your volume down, okay? All right? Okay? All right.
Wetback bitch. That's what the fuck you are. You wetback bitch. And I'll be glad when Trump get all you motherfuckers out of here. Now how about that? Now take your wetback baby on home. That's what the fuck you do. Now come back to my window like you did.
What was your name, miss? What was your name?
What is your name, wetback?
I'm sorry, you just seem
My
really
name,
proud.
you know, I was trying to tell you I didn't see
really
you.
proud.
No,
You
I
say
tried to
everything
tell you
you're
that I
saying.
didn't see you, but
So
you
you
want to
should be
go
proud
act stupid.
to say your name.
Shut the fuck up.
Say your
you
name.
got my tags, bitch.
Say your name.
Ice is gonna see you soon.
All right.
Ice will see you.
Lord, oh my God, this is crazy. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy, 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 crazy world that we live in. Okay, now, oh Lord, that was so bad. So Kayla Pantaleon, whatever her name is, Miss Kayla. People were asking her, well, what happened? What did you say to her? What did you do to Miss Andrea to make her call you that? What did you do? So she made a video. It's about 5 minutes long, and she basically, was saying this is what happened. Everybody was valid and asking their questions on what led up to the incident and when she started recording. And I watched the video, and in all honesty, it just gave me fake, like for real. It just gave me fake outrage trying to go viral. If you go down her page on TikTok and look at her views, she's never had as many views as she's getting now, thanks to Miss Andrea. But it just seems like it's fake outrage, and we're gonna watch the video and
valid. I don't think I did a good job at. Good morning. Yes, I've been getting a lot of comments like this. Completely valid. I don't think I did a good job at taking accountability for every action on my part in the first video. And also, I don't think I made it clear about when I pulled out the phone and started recording, right? So completely valid for y'all to question this. And here we go. This is part 2, I guess. I am crossing the street with my baby and my dog, and this woman comes flying around the corner and honks at us for being in her way. This is where I messed up. I didn't keep moving. I should have kept going. Instead, I turned around and I said, with a nasty attitude, I said, "You don't gotta honk like that." And I kept it moving. Thought we were done. No, she rolls down her window and she starts on 100, y'all, okay? She says, "I didn't see you, you wetback B. Don't get your teeth knocked out." Now, what would you have done in this moment? Me, I'm sorry, you might hear my dog snoring. I have asked God to put me in this moment for years, seeing these stupid videos, like, let somebody talk to me like that. And then he puts me in this situation while I'm with my baby. So there wasn't much I could do. And again, I should have kept it moving. And instead, I stepped closer to her car. And I said, "Excuse me?" Because I was baffled. And she said, "You heard me, you wetback." And I said, "No. Go back to the part where you was gonna knock my teeth out in front of my kid." And she opened her car door as if she was gonna step out of the car. Opens the door and then closes it right away and then drives off. We were done. I said, "Thank you, Lord. That's over." This woman followed me, my baby, and my dog to the next block. And I said, "Oh, snap, I gotta call the cops." I fixed my fingers to dial 911. And I said, "You gonna call the cops in the South?" I don't think that's a good idea. So I just pulled out the phone and started recording. So the part that you see in the first video is the part where she had followed us to the next block. And what happens next is what y'all see in that video. A lot of y'all want me to have started with the racial slurs. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not about to other someone else. I am the other. I see that woman and I see people that I grew up with. I am from an underserved,
A month later, Doc,
marginalized,
she crying.
low-income neighborhood in Yonkers, New York. I could never fix my mouth to say the N-word, and if I do, is in a playful manner, and I say ninja, because saying the actual N-word sounds weird coming out of my mouth because I'm such a dork, you know? I'm a real goofball, so I don't know how to say the N-word, let's put it like that. So yeah, y'all, I know a lot of y'all wanted me to say something crazy, out of pocket, racist, in order for her to react the way she did, but I got nothing for you other than the stupidity of getting closer to her car and saying, excuse me, go back to the part where you was gonna knock my teeth out in front of my child. Yeah, so I elaborated on my actions. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. So I started looking into the story, doing a little investigation. So I found out where this happened at. It happened on Rogers Lane in Raleigh at the Sheetz gas station. And I'm gonna pull up this this picture of this curb that we are discussing, that they're talking about. Okay. Now, mind you, when I spoke to Miss Andrea, she told me that this incident happened last month, okay, near the Sheets right here. If you in Raleigh and you ever been on Rogers Lane, you know how when you come out of this Sheets, you got to bear off with this turn right here, you know, and looking at this car, you have to yield. You know what I'm saying? So when she was saying she came speeding, you know, around the curb, this is the curb that she's talking about, that Miss Ingram allegedly came, you know, speeding around. But I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up in a minute on the computer so you actually can see what Miss Ingram said, that she was coming out of the Sheetz gas station around this curb. And if you see the sidewalk right here to the right where the little flagpole at, Miss Kayla and her daughter, who was in a baby journey, you know, the carrying thing that they have now that mothers can, you know, you can put your child in the back. Miss Ingram said that Michaela, she had one of those on, okay, with her baby. Kayla, excuse me. She had one of those on, and she said that when she was coming around, she said that they walked out into the street, not looking left or right, just walked out. As you can see, they walked from this sidewalk to the right, across to this median, all the way across to where the red flag is on the left. But she said that they walked out, and when they walked, she did not see them. And she hit her brakes fast and hit her horn because it startled her. And she said that Kayla looked at her and said that, you know, you don't have to blow your fucking horn like that. And then she proceeded to come up to her car window. And she said that when, you know, Kayla came up to her car window, she said she had her baby, okay, on her, and she's yelling and cursing her out. And she said that they had words or what have you. And she said that she never followed Miss Kayla to any block. And then when you watch the video, I'm gonna put it back up here. It looks like it's still in the same spot where this turn is. Okay, and I'm gonna bring it back up and try to point it out for y'all so you kind of see what I'm saying. But she said that when Kayla got back across the street, she said that she started saying, "You wet bat bitch, you wet bat bitch, you wet bat bitch." But she also said that she was about to get out the car, but she realized that this lady had her child with her, And also, she didn't want that dog to gnaw her ass. So she said, let me get my ass back in this car. And she got back in the car. And she told me that she regret what she said. She said she didn't mean, you know, to say those things or what have you. And, you know, she was just so angry because she could not touch Miss Kayla. She wanted to touch Miss. She wanted to lay hands on Miss Kayla. But because her children was, you know, she had her baby, she said she did not want to do that. But she said that all Miss Kayla had to do was keep on walking across the street and kept on going. But she came up to her car. And so when she told me that, you know, and I was like, well, that's what you were saying when you said come back to this window like you just did, because, you know, I never brought that up. She told me the story about what happened. So anyways, what's today? Thursday. On Tuesday, Miss Ingram's daughter reached out to Kayla on TikTok through the messenger or whatever. And now I'm not certain why she still posted the video that she found out what Miss Ingram's name was, but they were having conversation in the DM where Miss Ingram's daughter is saying, I'm truly sorry this happened to you. I do not condone racial slurs, as I too have experienced racism as a multiracial woman. I hope that you understand that in the South, it's not the same as New York, down to how you cross the street. As a woman mother, I wish you to be more careful in situations such as this for the safety of you and your baby. I hope you would take this as an opportunity to reflect and not as an opportunity to create content. Race shouldn't play, where we at? Race shouldn't play a factor, but unfortunately, that's the reality of the world we live in. Everyone comes from different backgrounds and upbringings, which result in how they react to confrontation. I hope you find it in your heart to forgive and move forward. Best wishes. So then she responds back and she says, I appreciate the message. My hope is to find her before TikTok does and hug it out. And hug it out, as crazy as that sounds. I know apologies are deserved on both sides. I didn't put this out there for pure content. I've genuinely also always had a heart to serve and felt that this video could unite us by showcasing the real division among marginalized communities. I think that's still possible, especially if I'm able to track her down. As for having a hothead with my baby, yeah, it's something I'm not proud of, but I'm working on myself every day. God knows my heart, so I find solace in that or whatever. Thank you for the well wishes. I'm sorry we share the same experience, but I'm sending love your way and praying for better. And then, of course, you know, the daughter went on or whatever. And, you know, then she said, I don't understand how her immediate reaction to my reaction could be wetback, followed by wetback baby. If there's some form of racism that she dug up, that is a racial slur, y'all, to, you know, towards Hispanic people, Mexicans or whatever. But it is a racial slur. You know, I'm not going to say it's just like calling us the N-word because, you know, it's different. But at the end of the day, it's still a slur. She had to say all that because I turned around and said, you don't got to hunt like that. Sorry, I feel like we can go back and forth forever. Not something I have the energy for. I would be down to reach out to her. But if you're talking about a mediation in person, my first instinct is to take your advice and say safety first, LOL. This could be a setup, so I'm going to tread lightly. Let me know if you are cool with giving me her location. I definitely understand if not. And if she needs new plates, I'll pay for them. And to follow us to the next block was crazy work. Okay, I'm done. And, you know, they go through that. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Okay. So anyways, so let me play this. Let me go back to this video. And I want y'all to look at this. Now, you see this bush right here? This still looks like the same spot right here. Okay? I don't know, to me.
What the fuck you are? You wetback bitch. And I'll be glad when Trump get all you motherfuckers out of here.
It still look like they in that same curve.
That's what the fuck you do. Now come back.
Yeah, they are, because the cars are still coming. They still in that same area. The same spot.
What is your name, wetback?
I'm sorry.
So they're still in this same spot. All you gotta do is look at the big bush right here. They're still in this same spot. They're still in this same spot right here. So I'm unsure what Kayla is talking about when she says, you know, she followed us to the next street. Okay. Now, Miss Ingram is wrong for what she said. Okay. She is wrong for what she said. And she was deeply sorry about that. Or or what have you. But, you know, y'all got to stop provoking people because you don't know what they are capable of. You running up the people windows and acting crazy. This is not New York, baby, where they can you get disrespected and they walk off and let it go. This is the South. They will bust you in your shit walking up to people's cars. And then Miss Ingram said that not only did she walk up to her car, but she was banging on her car. Okay. So at the end of the day, you know, this is pretty sad. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, give me one moment. All right. So I'm waiting for my next guest to come on. So when he get here, I'll bring him up in a few minutes. Now, a lot of you, oh, excuse me. Hold on, let me take this down. A lot of you, let's go to the next story. So y'all already know on Monday, we did a story about Prophet Brian Carn and a woman that he allegedly had been in a 10-year relationship with. Well, if we're asking Miss Maya Love, it does not seem like that he was solely in a relationship with just, you know, the other lady, Vashti Ennis, who came forward and she put out some DMs, some text messages. She gave us a whole rundown about her life and the 10 years and the manipulation and all of the cheating and all of this stuff, right? So I was tipped off again about another individual. All right, I got you. I'm gonna bring up in a few moments about another lady who he was apparently dealing with. It's about to get good, okay? Named Maya Love, okay? And she had took to social media the other day to talk about that she wants to have some dealings with the prophet. She alleged, and if y'all don't know who Prophet Brian Carn is, he is a man who one time claimed he's a prophet, hears from God and only the mouthpiece of the Lord or for God. He was reading word for word from a warlock and a witch, took her prediction and, you know, and read it, and the shit didn't even come true, I don't believe. And then he gets into politics about that. He's always been known for being a pimp in the pulpit, okay? All of these stories about him being scandalous, sleeping with women, messing with men. We haven't heard anything about men yet, okay? Maybe he got them on lockdown, okay? Well, they ain't gonna come out and say nothing, you know. They ain't as emotional as these other women are, okay? But at the end of the day, this lady Maya, and if you don't know the story about Vashti Ennis, just go to our website, type in Prophet Brian Carn, or scroll down and you can catch up on all of that, all right? Well, this new lady named Maya, she came up on social media and she said, I left KCC, Kingdom City Church, which is in Charlotte, 5 years ago. And to be honest, this has been the most traumatic experience of my life. To this day, I struggle with attending any church, and I was raised in the church. I never seen or experienced anything to this magnitude. I've struggled, lost so much in the midst of my transition. It's very sickening to see that women are still being taken advantage of in the name of God. At the end of the day, people's souls are on the line. God is not pleased. So many women have reached out to me and shared their story with me, and say all this to say there's a huge lack of accountability. And we saw that in his recent Bible study where he's trying to get everybody else to take accountability, but he don't take accountability himself. Okay, let today be the day of truth to set your soul free. Let's stop confusing, hiding, and holding secrets with covering. We all have to answer to God one day. Woe to the shepherds who are destroying and scattering the sheep of my pasture, declares the Lord. Then she put up a Facebook message of Brian Carn where they was in the DMs. Now, she didn't put up the full thread or, you know, all of the messages that they were, you know, having and being communicative with, but she did put up this one from February 15th, 2020. Okay, so that means what? I mean, I'm not supposed to be on here. I'm sending this because I believe you blocked my number. I apologize. I made you feel unheard. This is Carn talking, Prophet Carn. But please, let's talk this through, please. I love you and never want or meant to hurt you. Call me tonight, please, at about 8. Okay. So now I'm gonna bring up Bishop William Rudolph. Bishop, how you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Now let me
How you
say
doing?
this. I was telling the people the other day, y'all, this is the bishop who was taking a very long time in that very same hotel room. It looked like he was trying to get to it, but he did say it was gonna be a long video. Y'all didn't get to see that part though. But anyways, we did a story on Bishop Rudolph a long time ago. It wasn't about no child predator type stuff. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm good with having him up here, although we did do a story on him, but y'all know how that is. They go public with it. We talk about it.
That's
But
right.
Bishop, you had made a video about Prophet Carn, and you talked about how you were once at his church in Houston, right? And you were trying to get your daughter back, or something, and you cussed out somebody, and you were told to sit down. And then this has shocked you that Brian Carn is out here in these streets, you know, being a womanizer is what I would call it. And you spoke on that and how he's still out preaching, and yet you had to sit down for cussing, but yet he gets to still preach while banging these women allegedly. So I want to give you the floor and let you explain what you were saying the other day for my listeners who were trying to watch, but we couldn't finish.
No problem. Okay, yeah. So and I'll be
Tell us what's your name, your church, and you can go ahead from there.
okay. I'm Bishop William T. Rudolph. Church is Fresh Anointing Life Changers. We are set to be in. I'm actually moving back to Alabama
Okay.
in the near future, so we're working on that now. Anyway, long story short, I want to get into exactly what happened. So I was at Carn's Church in Houston. I went there too because that's the smaller church of all of the all three churches. So I went there to help out, and as a pastor there, I'm in the back with them or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So my baby mother's boyfriend and I had an altercation. So he reached out to Prophet Carn because he knew Prophet Carn was my pastor or whatever. So we had a three-way. We had a three-way conversation, four-way conversation. Prophet Carn, myself, Pastor Drew Shaw, and his overseer, and also my daughter's mother for a few moments. All right. Basically, I was already heated because they wouldn't allow me to see my daughter.
Right.
Okay. They had already seen my daughter. I had. Okay, so I was heated about that. So in the conversation, Pastor Drew Shaw says in the conversation that, oh, Bishop Rudolph is only trying to get attention. So when he said that, that set me off. So I started dropping F-bombs left and right. Mother effer, who the F you think you are? Nigga, I will come to your church and beat your mother.
Right.
And so Prophet Carn was like, Pastor Rudolph, stop. And I said, F you, F them, I'm off this month. And I hung the phone.
Oh, wow.
So
So you said F Prophet Carn.
everybody,
Okay.
because I was livid.
Right.
And so 2 hours after I had calmed down, 2 hours later, I called Prophet Carn and I was like, listen, I was wrong. I apologize, but I was heated and I lost it. And so he was like, well, you got to control your emotions better than that. You're a pastor. You're not supposed to act like that before people. And you embarrassed me. You made me look bad. This is what he said. And so I said, well, I understand. So he says, well, from now on out, for right now, you're going to be Brother Rudolph. You're not going to be Pastor Rudolph. And you're going to sit down. And I said, okay, all right, whatever. So got off the phone and I thought about it. So I called him again and I said, well, listen, would you reconsider the decision because of the fact of the matter I was fighting for my daughter, man? And I lost it because I felt like, this guy was, for him to say something like that, why would I be trying to why would I be seeking attention trying to get my daughter? Whatever. And he was like, no, you're going to sit down until you get yourself together. Or whatever.
And that was just over you cursing.
He cussed it, yeah.
On the phone.
And over the phone.
Okay.
And so I took it. I accepted it until I came to New York or whatever.
Right.
So when I saw all of this unfold, I didn't even go to sleep that night after I saw this. I didn't go to sleep till about 5 o'clock because I'm like, wait a minute, you punished me knowing that you getting ready to leave Houston to go to either Charlotte or Jacksonville to get you some booty before you get up to preach at either 3 o'clock in Charlotte or 11 o'clock in Jacksonville.
Right.
And even though I didn't have anything sexual with him, anything like that, but I felt abused because I'm like, here you are, you stripped me, you
Yeah.
punished me,
Mm-hmm.
and you were sitting up in here, you know, doing all this stuff for 10 years.
Right.
So it affected me.
So for the people that don't know, what was your role at his ministry? Like, tell us how you got to Prophet Carn's ministry.
Well, I was in North Carolina, and so I went out there to just help out. He has a pastor that's there, Pastor Richardson, who's
Okay.
the campus pastor.
Okay.
And so I was a pastor in the fellowship.
Okay, gotcha.
And everything. And so I was going to the church. So I was just there to whatever they needed me to do, I'll do it.
Right.
So after he sat me down, so I said, well, what do you want me to do? He said, well, Pastor Richardson will let you know what he'll have you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Pastor Richardson tells me, okay, we're going to put you on the cleanup committee. So I went from being one of the pastors of the church, Pastor Rudolph, to being on the cleanup committee.
Over cursing.
Over cursing.
Yeah.
But you out here doing threesomes and cheating and all this other type of stuff.
Now,
so go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
So I felt some type of way, and I still do. And then that act that he put on Tuesday night made it even worse. Tuesday night, made it even worse.
Yeah. What did you think about that? What did you think about what he said?
I did a live about it. As soon as he finished, I went live about it, and I said it was not sincere. And because of that, because I still had respect for him before Tuesday night.
Right.
But after Tuesday night, I have no more respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was your opportunity to win us back by saying, hey, you guys, hey, listen, the cover's been pulled off. I'm wrong. And I should have done better. And I owe everybody an apology. But he comes out like, I ain't done nothing, and has the audacity to start singing and going forth like no big deal.
Right.
So and then he tries to teach and tries to manipulate the scripture to make him look good and make it seem like, you know, I got some things going on, but it's only between me and God. No, it's not. Yeah. When you're in the public eye and you mess up, that's not between you, just between you and God. It's between you, God, and us.
Yeah, especially if you say you got cyber ministry and cyber followers and members.
Absolutely.
Remember, a lot of these churches don't have it established where they have like groups and message systems set up for people that follow online and watch their ministry. But if you are in the public eye and you are a pastor to the caliber that he is, I think you do owe. You may not give us a lot, but it's nothing wrong with saying I messed up. But he don't want to admit to us what we already know. We already know you a horror legend. We already know this. So it's like, come on out and just tell the people, at least show them that you're taking some type of accountability. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. He actually
one to another, right? One to another, right?
Exactly. He actually messaged my ex-wife. I ain't even put that out there until yesterday. He had messaged my ex-wife about a year or so ago when we were separated, and told her he was coming to Raleigh and he wanted her to cook for him. She told me I didn't believe her.
Yeah.
I didn't believe her. So when I talk to her, I'm gonna have to let her know I owe you an apology.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Now I want to put this photo up here because this is a photo of you and Prophet Carn, and y'all are happy. Where were y'all at when y'all took this photo?
He came to New York.
Now, New York. I remember you in your video, you said that he did help you a lot in church and ministry. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I also want people to understand that, you know, just because people have helped you in a certain place, you still have to hold them accountable.
Absolutely.
Private or public. You get what I'm saying? But tell us about how he has helped your ministry, or how he helped you as a person.
Yeah, that's one thing I will not take away from him.
Right.
Because my delivery of the word of God, I was good in my delivery. When I preached in Alabama, I was well sought after, but being able to dissect and teach and pull revelation, I didn't have that. and even being intentional about the word of the Lord. I didn't have that until I got under him.
Yeah.
And so he basically he basically changed my life by how he taught the word of God
Yeah.
and everything like that. Because he knows his Bible. He knows how to dissect it. He's very anointed. He's
Yeah.
very anointed,
So
but he's just arrogant.
yeah. So what do you think? What is it that's making him continue to fall in these same traps? It's like you would think after all these years, you would know what not to do or how to do something so you don't get caught. But for him, and I said that the other day, I said anointed people gonna get caught all the time, especially when in situations like this. It just all depends on what I don't know what God has going on in people's life. You get what I'm saying? I don't know your assignment. You don't know my assignment. You get what I'm saying? But I know I can look at the word of God and say this don't line up with what I've read. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep my Holy Bible right here. Okay. Listen, a lady I met on Periscope, she sent me this Bible and it got Minister Gerald Jackson on it. She had it engraved.
Got you.
And she put $100 in here. And this was on November 24th, 2015.
Okay, got you. Awesome.
You probably can't see it, but at the end of the day, you know, I can look at that Bible and be like, oh, this don't line up with
exactly.
You know. But what do you think it is that keeps making him fall?
I'm glad you asked that question. I actually did a live on it yesterday morning. I did a live on yesterday morning because I asked the Lord the same question. The Spirit Lord gave me an answer.
What did he say?
The reason why Prophet Carn is going through this is because Prophet Carn was launched into the prophetic too early. He was, or should I say, into the national spotlight too early. He should have had a man of God. And I just realized yesterday that he's only 35 years old.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that until yesterday morning.
Yeah. Wow.
So when I started preaching, because what he's doing, the way he's preaching now, from a energetic perspective, I was preaching that same way or ministering the same way when he was 9 and 10 years old.
Right.
But when I got into his ministry, I was so infused in his ability to deliver the word of the Lord and his voice that I didn't even think about how old he was.
Right.
Okay. So he was thrown from an early age. He was thrown to the river there in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was thrown to Rod Parsley, you know, at an early age.
And had made a lot of money too.
And he never got a chance to be Brian.
Developed. Right.
Exactly. And
Overly
somebody
underly developed.
Exactly. So somebody should have said, okay, I know you're anointed. I know you can sing. I know you can prophesy. But we're going to put that on the shelf for right now. And we're going to allow you to be Brian. We're going to let you go to high school. We're going to let you go to college. We're going to let you get that youthfulness out of you. If you notice, David was in his 30s when he became king. Jesus was in his 30s when he took on the assignment. And when he was at the wedding feast before he turned 30, he told them, my time has not come yet.
Right.
So Carn never got an opportunity to process Brian.
Right. Yeah.
He never got a chance to be Brian. He never got a chance to get out there and, as they say, Akeem say on Coming to America, sow his royal oats.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so now he's already thrust into the prophetic. He's thrust into the national spotlight at a young age. Now that's already grown. Now as Brian grows, now Brian and the prophet collide.
Right.
Brian wants to eat. The prophet wants to eat as well. And so now Brian is eating while prophet is excelling. Right. And so now we're seeing all of his appetites and and so now we're seeing him fall right before our eyes when he should have been doing that before he got into the spotlight.
That's true. That's
so
true.
By the time you come to the spotlight, you done already had all the sex.
Yeah.
If you don't smoke some weed, you done did that.
You know,
you gonna smoke some cigarettes. You good? You done did all that. By the time you get the spotlight, you done did all that. You tight. Now you ready to do ministry.
Yeah.
And he never got a chance to do that.
That's true.
And not only that, his father wasn't in his life either.
Yeah.
And he needed somebody to say, not right yet, not right now. You're
Yeah.
not ready for, I don't care who calling you.
Yeah.
You ain't ready yet.
Yeah. That's just like Jacqueline Carr. I watched her like grow up. Like we all
Yeah.
watched her grow up, and she grew up into to be an amazing, beautiful, anointed woman of God. But one thing I knew, her father and her mom and them was always there. Like,
Didn't play.
you know what I'm saying? Like they handled her stuff. They was always there. So she had
Exactly.
somebody to. She was still in school, so she had parents in her life. And even if you don't have a father, there are single moms out here that's like schoolwork. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. You're gonna
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, you are definitely right, and I feel like he was overly exposed and underly developed. He hasn't had an opportunity to make mistakes. These mistakes that he's making now should have been when he was younger, growing up.
Absolutely.
But now the church has taken him so serious in his you know, in ministry that, you know, when stuff like this happen, we're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. So the fellowship that you are in, that I don't know if you're still in his fellowship.
No, no longer in.
So was it his fellowship though, Carn's fellowship?
Yeah, it was his fellowship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long were you in the fellowship?
It's called CCIF.
Okay.
And I wasn't in it that long. I was in it probably, I would say maybe a year or less than a year.
Okay.
And everything that I was in it. Yeah, probably less than a year.
So prior, okay, so while you were there, did you ever hear any stories about Carn?
All the time.
Was it with women or men or both?
No, just men. I mean, excuse me, women. I'm sorry, women. Yeah. But I had people come in my inbox, and they was like, "You on the Carn?" Because I would always post his videos, and I would always say, "This man is powerful," so forth and so on. And they would come in my inbox and say, "You don't know about Carn? You better watch him." But I would always defend him.
Right.
I always, and I want to say this for the record, I always defended Prophet Carn. Right. Even when the Senegal thing, Bishop Senegal thing came up, I defended him.
Right.
Even when the text messages came out with him and the girl that he was in a relationship with, the bishop in Michigan, I have always defended Prophet Carn. Even when the evidence was there, I always said he's still a man. He's human. You know, let's pray for him. So forth and so on, whatever. But then what got me to this point now where I'm speaking out is when I realized that, like we did at the first part of this segment, that you were punishing me knowing that you was getting ready to go do worse than I was.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand that mindset. How do you get up? And like Vashti said in her statement, she sat there and watched him rebuke people and do things to people that he was doing himself and worse.
Yeah.
So my thing is, who does that? Who has the mind to get up and rebuke somebody about them doing something when you know when you leave, you already got something set up?
Yeah.
And if you and watch this, if you go and look, if you go to Vashti's page and you go to her stories, you will see all of the places that she was going. And I guarantee you she was going to those places at his expense.
Yeah.
Flying out all these expensive places, restaurants. Because one thing about Prophet Carn, he's 5-star. If he's gonna do it, let me tell you something.
All the way.
He's going all the way.
Yeah. So I know in your video you were saying stuff about Vashti. You were explaining how she's quiet and how, you know, she don't bother anybody. How do you know that? Like, were you around? Was she in Houston with y'all?
She was in Charlotte because I was before I moved to Houston, I was in North Carolina.
So okay, so let me say this. So but when he was in Houston, so he got 3 churches, right?
Yeah, he has 3 churches.
So when you were in Houston, he already had the church in Charlotte.
Yeah, he had Jacksonville first. I think I'm not sure which one he had first.
Jacksonville first.
Jacksonville first.
Kind of new in Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's new in Charlotte.
But when you was up this way, was she going to his church already or to another church?
She was in Charlotte.
Okay, but she was going to his church.
She was going to his church in Charlotte.
Where was she sitting at? Like sitting at on the front row, on the side?
She sits pretty much anywhere. She, like I said in my prior interview, she's not a person who demands the spotlight.
Right.
She'll come in and sit in the back. She'll come in and sit at the side.
Right.
She ain't never been. She's not one of those. There's some women that's like they come in like, yo, I need to be upfront. No, I
Yeah.
need to be, you know, that's not her
Yeah.
personality. If you go to her page, she's not on Facebook that much. She may do her stories, but she don't go and
Yeah.
say a lot on her page, and she don't, say stuff about people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's very what's the word? I can't think of it. But anyway, she's not outgoing
Discreet,
like that.
private.
Very discreet, very private, and everything like that. So for her to go public like the way that she did, I knew from when I read it, she's not lying.
But
She's
do
telling
you
the truth.
do you agree she knew what she was getting herself into before she got into it?
Well, that's my only issue with Vashti is the fact that all of these years,
She knew that he was.
yeah, and you sat there and you saw other people's lives being decapitated, pretty much. You
Damn.
see people being fired or people leaving the ministry because things had happened, but because you were receiving the benefits, you didn't want to lose those benefits. And I feel like the very first time you saw somebody's life
Mm-hmm.
being swept from up under them, where they're now in a place of having to fend for themselves, then you should have said to him then, Carn, Brian, you can't do that.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let you do that. But she kept quiet, and she allowed him to, But again, for her, but I will say this, and maybe she was trying to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she was, saying, well, maybe he's going to get it together after a while. Maybe if I do this for him, and maybe she did look into that part of him that says, okay, you didn't have a father in your life. Your dad wasn't in your life, and I see that kid in you
Right.
because as we saw on Tuesday night. Carn knows how to put on a show.
Oh yeah, he does.
That was the side I saw of him I ain't never seen before.
Yeah. He
That's
put on
that
a show now.
he put on a show Tuesday night.
So let me ask you this: Why don't
Uh-huh.
you? Why you think he ain't been sat down yet? Like why you think this is just like it's kind of like with Leandra with me. Like nobody, it's like nobody are covering these people, or nobody that care about them are covering them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
Exactly.
why I know some pastors that would have sat some people down for months. You had to start all the way over back to a minister in training. But why you think he ain't sat down? Why do you think after this he's still able to get up and preach on Bible study?
Well, we Bishop Senegal actually put out a post today,
Oh wow.
giving everybody the information to his pastor, Bishop Lambert Gates,
Okay.
and giving them the email address. And he actually called Prophet Carn a menace, and that this is the person who can put a leash on Carn.
Yeah.
So we all waiting to see what Bishop Lambert Gates is going to say, because that's his pastor. He has a cafe in his church in Charlotte that's named after Bishop Lambert Gates, called the Lambert Gates Cafe.
Wow.
And Lambert Gates is the presiding bishop of the PCAF, and PCAF is, I think, the second large or the third largest apostolic organization in the world.
Oh
Is
wow.
PC is Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, PCAF, which is Noel Jones and all of them,
Yeah.
and then PCAF, PAW. I'm sorry, PAW is the largest apostolic organization. Then PCAF came out of PAW,
Okay.
and so Bishop Lambert Gates is the presiding bishop of PCAF. So we all waiting to see what he's going to do. The last time Prophet got with the thing with Bishop Senegal, Bishop Lambert Gates sat Prophet Carn down.
Yeah, he did. He went down long though.
But it was like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, he went long.
My suggestion now, in light of all of this, is Carn needs to be sat down at least for 1 year. He needs to be given counseling, and he needs to be made to find him a wife. And when he steps back up to that, when he's welcomed back to that pulpit, he needs to be walking back up on that pulpit with his wife.
But he
needs to have surveillance from now on out. That when he go to that back, he's with his wife. He comes to church with his wife, and he leaves with his wife.
Yeah.
Because this is too much.
Yeah.
And let me say this, Gerald, I don't mean to be long-winded.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to go back to my situation with you from 2021. And I want to say this. When I was in my situation, I was not pastoring. I didn't have a church. I didn't have any members. I silently and privately walked away from ministry. I didn't want to have anything to do with ministry. So I was just doing my thing, you know, without telling anybody. But had I known it was gonna get out like that, I would have made a video and said, look, y'all, I ain't no bishop no more. I ain't no pastor no more. So I'm gonna cuss on my page and whatever. So if you see it, just know I ain't that no more. But I didn't do that. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, once you become a leader, and people begin to join your church, even if it's 5 people, when somebody come and says, I want to be under your ministry, I want to be under your leadership, at that moment, whatever proclivity you have, whatever stronghold you have, you got to be able to say no to it. Because at that point, you have lives that are attached to your hand. There is no excuse. There's no excuse. Because those lives are going to be affected because they're trusting in you to be who you say you are. And Carn has to understand that, because this is the 4th or 5th, 6th rodeo for him.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm just shocked. I'm just so shocked that nobody is defending the integrity of the word of God. You know what I'm saying? Or defending the integrity of the office of a prophet, or just the church, period. But you know, I watched Bishop Lambert Gates when he was on the Word Network back in the day, and I tell you, he's a preaching machine. Absolutely. And I really hope that, you know, he don't look at the status that Brian, because you know, sometimes, you know, when you got somebody like Brian Carn want you to be their leader, then that for him, that's big that he's submitting to you because he's Brian Carn. Normally, when you deal with people with those names and you know, they're like, I'm my own covering, I'm my own this, and I'm my own that. Yeah. But at least he knows that he needs to submit to a covering. But we're gonna see what Bishop Lambert Gates do. I agree. Absolutely. I think he should be sat down. I think he should be sat down indefinitely because he's not ready. Look, I'm just gonna give you the words. Exactly. I think you need to be sat down like permanently. Well, at least a year. I'll give you a year. Yeah. Let God work on you and deliver you.
Get counseling and get a wife. And get a wife.
Now. When you talk about get a wife, you know, that might be hard because this girl thought that she was really with him for 10 years. And, you know, I don't think he's going to be, I just think a woman is not meant for him. Like, he's going to be meant to be a single man. And nothing is wrong with that. You don't have to have a wife to make it into heaven or, I mean, you know, he made a woman for you, but, you know, you want to be equally yoked.
Exactly. But Carn's issue is Carn wants to be in control. Nobody can tell him anything. I'm 50 years old, and I could have told him some things because now there were some things that he was doing when I was with him that I could have told him, but I know he wasn't gonna listen because he feels like you don't got what I got. You don't have the church or whatever, so you can't tell me anything. For instance, I told him he was in Houston. Now, if you know anything about Houston, Houston is one of the highest rated homeless states. Cities in America.
Right.
You go in Houston right now, you're gonna see people all up on the underpass sleep. Houston is horrible. So I said to him one Saturday, because they have service on Saturday in Houston. I said, you know, why don't we do something? Why don't we set up something for the homeless? You know what he told me? Right. He said, that ain't my ministry, that ain't my anointing.
I believe it.
And that thing hurt, that thing hit my heart, but I didn't say nothing. Because I wasn't trying to question leadership, but that bothered me. You don't want that's not your anointing to go out here and take some of this money. This man raised $300,000 to watch night services ago. Not this past, because I didn't go to that one, but the one before that, 300 people gave $1,000.
Wow.
He raised $300,000 at watch night. But you can't go in to the homeless. You can't go out and get a building for the homeless, feed some, do some food. He said that wasn't his anointing. So there was a lot of things that I could have said to him, you know, whatever, but I knew he wasn't going to listen. So he has a problem with listening to people. He feels like if you're not on his level, and she said that in her statement. She also said it in her statement. And when she said that, I was like, yeah, she know him.
Yeah.
If you're not on his level or above him, he ain't trying to hear you. But it's not true.
Well, He better get his life together. If you want to speak on the 2021 situation, we can talk about that briefly. I mean, to be honest with you, I write so many stories, Rudolph, and I brought it up briefly, but I didn't go back to remember what it was. So if you want to talk about it, you can. If you don't, we don't have to.
I have no problems with that because it was it was a lot that happened in that because it was actually, you know, you have
You was
iCloud.
out here sending yours. You was out here. You had pictures. You know, that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what it was about.
Yeah, but that was the person that I sent it to was my girlfriend.
Yeah. Why she do
And
that?
no, she didn't send that. What happened was my ex-wife. I never see. I don't go and change my stuff in my phone. You know. So
Yeah.
when me and my ex-wife got divorced and everything like that, she still had the information to the iCloud. I didn't know anything about iCloud like that, but
Right.
she did. So I had moved on. We had moved on. She had moved on. She had got in a relationship with Drew Shaw, and I got in a relationship with my girlfriend. And so my girlfriend, the reason why we broke up, and I had no problem with being honest about it. My girlfriend, she was into, you know, having sex and putting something in her man's behind. And I told her that ain't my thing.
Oh, you didn't do it. Who wait, who said this now?
That was my girlfriend. It was my girlfriend.
You broke off with her.
And so yeah, because she kept wanting to, you know, and I kept telling her that's not my thing. That's not gonna happen.
Right.
And she was like, "Come on." I was like, "No." And so basically, how the booty hole thing came out was she asked me, "I'm sure you had that." I said, "No." And so I said, "Hold on, I'm finna show you." So I sent her a picture of it to let her see. Nah, ain't nobody ever been back there.
Right.
That's all. That's what that was all about. So that wasn't me just or whatever. So now the mask, that's what happened.
I'm listening. I'm just saying,
So
man. I'm just thinking
that
about
was just a private conversation between me and my girlfriend. You know, just chilling on the phone or whatever.
Right.
Us, you know, being, you know, having a conversation.
Right.
And then she was out of town.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm horny" or whatever. Now, mind you, let me say for the record, at this time, I had walked away from the church. So I was cussing. I was going to the sports bar, all that. The only thing I was doing with the church at that point was playing for Baptist.
Why is it that when us people walk away from the church for a little bit, we go to the first place we go into the clubs, the bar, and we hitting us a cigarette or a joint or something? Like, dang.
Well, I don't smoke.
Never be like we done and just do regular, like just watch movies and stuff. We got to be in the club.
Well, no, I didn't go to the club like that. I went to the sports bar where you go in there and you eat the wings and stuff. You watch the basketball game and stuff like that.
He's definitely from the church. He sit up here trying to tell me about the bar. Oh, trust me, I know what a sports bar is.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I never even when I wasn't fully saved, I was never a club guy, and then I tried it, but just was never my thing or whatever. But that's all it was. And so what happened was, I guess my ex-wife decided she was gonna go into my iCloud, and she saw all of it, and she put it out there.
Yeah.
And then somebody inboxed me, was like, "Hey man, you know you on a Larry Reed show." I'm like, "Huh? Me?
Yeah.
For what?" Because I don't have a church.
Yeah.
I'm not pastoring nobody. All I'm doing is playing for a church, getting paid every Sunday, and going home.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. I ain't preaching for nobody.
Yeah.
I ain't prophesying to nobody. Let me say this. I'm very, very serious about ministry. If I'm going to pastor you, I'm going to do what's right.
Right.
The church that I pastored in 2001 in Clanton, Alabama, and I had members at that church. When I pastored that church, I wasn't looking at none of the women in my church. I preached and I went home. And watch this. Nobody in my church in Clanton came to my house. Nobody could say they knew that they'd been to my house before. I didn't play that.
Well, Bishop, let me ask you a question before I let you go.
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
asking 2 questions.
Sure.
First question, and then because I got to get to this other segment. The first question is, what do a single man pastor, a pastor who's a single man, and he's horny, and you know, everybody have hormones, like we all go through it. So it's like, what do he supposed to do? Because they say if you masturbate, that's sinning against God. So they say you're supposed to get in the shower and turn the hot water on and then go to bed. So what would you say is the proper way for a single man who's a pastor or prophet to get his rocks off in a holy way?
I'm gonna just give you the scripture. 1 Corinthians chapter chapter 7, I believe, verse 8, verse 9.
Mhm.
Paul says, if I wish, he said, I wish that you all could be like me.
Mhm.
Because Paul had a low sex drive. He didn't have a high sex drive.
Right.
He had a low sex drive.
Yeah.
He said, I wish y'all could be like me and just do ministry and that don't bother you. He said, but if you can't contain, it's better for you to marry than to burn.
True. That's true.
So if I was Carn,
But people ain't listen, they not even living by the Bible. So
I understand.
You think they finna get
Exactly.
You know how long it takes to get to know somebody to marry them?
Exactly. But my thing with Prophet Carn is, and I look at Prophet Carn, I know you got to go to the next segment, but look, Prophet Carn had no excuse.
Right.
Because God had, like David, God had given you your father's wives and concubines. You had all the women in the church ready to marry you. You had no excuse.
Right.
All you had to do was say, you right here, I'm going to marry you. Boom. Your situation is over with.
Mhm.
So if you're horny and your thing is wet all the time, find you somebody in that audience and say, look, I've been watching you. You got a good spirit on you. Are you willing for me to teach you? Are you willing for me to teach you how to be my wife? Yes. Okay, come on in here. All right. And marry her and say, y'all, here's go the elect lady, Carn, or elect lady Rudolph. Oh, here she is. Respect her and move on.
So the Bible is basically like married at first sight. Basically, if you can't control yourself, go get you a wife and marry her real quick.
And marry her.
Marry
That's
that.
what
So, because I
what Paul
never
says.
understood that married at first sight. You walking up to somebody just marrying them. So now I'm understanding a little bit better.
Well, no, not so much of that, but yeah, you know, if you got all these, man, you got people, them women in Charlotte have been waiting on Prophet Carn for years. You got Joy Miller that's been serving as his administrator for years. Good woman, and love his ministry. There's no excuse. That's why I am not going easy on Prophet Carn, because he has no excuse, man. Those women are sitting there waiting, bro. Waiting to be Miss Carn. Waiting. So God had already answered his prayer. All he had to do was receive it.
He said, just be he said, just be my freak, and I got you. That's all he want. He don't want it. So all they got to, so is that the girl that was being in the videos, running around doing the little videos, look like she crazy? Like the next girl I'm about to talk about?
No, that's Kayla. Oh, that's Kayla Isidore.
Is something really wrong with her?
Yeah, something's wrong with her. Something's wrong with her.
All right, Bishop.
But she's a good person, though. She's a good person. Something's wrong with her, but let me say this, because I don't want this to go out wrong. Kayla is a good person, and I just hate that she's under somebody like Carn, because she's really faithful. She'll go to bat for you. She'll be at church. She'll be on time. She's a wonderful woman of God. She really is. She really is. I will say that for the record. She's really a woman of God. But we're on it. Now that I'm back pastoring, and if you notice, Gerald, I haven't been back on Larry Reed or your show since 2021. You know why? You know why? Because about
videos about that man. Did you see the videos of all them men coming out on Larry Reed talking about when he was in ministry, how he had them doing the gay test and walking around?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you make a mistake with Carn and people, if you're on it the first time, correct it, so you're not on there again. You know what I'm saying? And so now that I'm back in ministry, now that I'm back now that I'm back the apostle, once my members start coming, I ain't messing with. I'm not doing it, because there's a charge you have. I'm doing a teaching tonight when I get off this thing entitled "The Yoke of Ministry." When you're in ministry, you put on a yoke. That's what those collars represent.
Oh yeah, let you know how.
That's what. It's not a design. It's not a fashion. Yeah. When you put on that, when you put this on, that means I'm yoked. I can't do what I want to do no more. I may want me some, but I go for it. Pull me back. I may want to get me some weed, but it pull me back, because I'm yoked to ministry.
Yeah.
I'm yoked to do what's right. I'm yoked to say no. You look good. Your titties are big. Your booty is fat. But I'm yoked to say no. I can't do it. Why? Because it's going to have a negative effect.
Yeah. He's not a one man. He's not a one woman prophet. And I don't think we ever seen Prophet Carn with a girlfriend publicly.
He's not. He's always tried to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, he ain't
And
never.
always tried to say he was single and he wasn't ready for no wife and he wasn't. But if and Miss Emily say this for the record, I'm gonna admit this.
Gotta go.
Anytime you are horny and you cannot control your sexual appetite, you are ready for a wife. Because that's the way you avoid fornication.
I'm gonna
Is
tell
you
you,
get married.
listen, that's why we thank God for, because he not like man. Because I'm telling you, when people get horny, they going to get them some booty tonight. They ain't waiting.
But here's the thing: if you're not in ministry
Yeah,
and you're not in the spotlight, okay, because there's no repercussion. But when you put on that collar and you put on that robe and you put on that title, now you have to have restraints.
Yeah, you do.
That's why I tell these young preachers now, you better know what you're talking about when you say you want to be able to be a prophet, be able to be an apostle, you ready to be an elder, because when you just a brother, you gonna get you some coochie, and ain't nobody gonna say that. You sit in church, clap, ain't nobody gonna say nothing because you're irrelevant.
Yeah.
But when you get up on that pulpit, you gotta have restraints.
Yeah, you got to have restraints.
That's why I walked away when I started doing my stuff. I walked away from the church. I ain't got nothing to do with the church. And I said that on the Larry Reed show in 2021 when I went on his show. I said that to him. I said, Larry, I'm not in ministry right now. I ain't doing none of that.
Oh yeah, I did remember you went to his show instead of coming over here.
Yeah.
But I understand.
But I would have came on your show too.
Yeah, it's cool. No, you good. But I appreciate you for coming up here.
Most definitely.
No
problem.
I appreciate that. And I hope in the future that, I don't know what you and Carn's relationship would be at this point, but I appreciate you for coming up here.
You're welcome. He just needs to come and apologize the right way.
Oh yeah, because I would feel, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, I would feel some type of way if I was sat down for just cussing and you up here like what?
Exactly. And you find all along I've been having threesomes and I got cum everywhere, and he like, and you sat me, nigga, what?
Exactly.
You want to bust me in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate you for coming up here, man. You take care.
No problem. You too.
All right, y'all. That was Bishop Williams. Y'all know we tried to put his video up here yesterday, but y'all say he was taking too long. So let's go to the next story. It's sad. It's so sad. Word on the curve, some total car crash and sent up here all over Charlotte. Done came from New Haven, Connecticut, all the way to Charlotte with no family, no friends, talking all this shit all up in all the hood hoes and the hood niggas DMs, talking this shit, talking about she want to pull up and she want to fight somebody. Girl, Miss Ken Cooks pulled up on your ass. Yeah, for the fact you pulled up on her goddamn business and thought you was finna go in there with that little dog, that little woof that you had. But y'all got turned around at the damn door. No fleas, no ticks. We don't sell them here. Okay, and Miss Ken Cooks would love to keep her 99.9, 99.5 score, but you tried to give her 60, and we on your ass, girl. Here she is. Here she is. Here she is. Is anybody looking for her? Anybody looking for her? We found her car. We found her car with dents and holes and cracks and bumps. We don't know who you are, who she may have hit. We don't know who you are, who she may have scammed either, but she's running around here with a little dog who ain't even potty trained, claiming the dog is her service dog, okay? And girl, we trying to find out which one is the service dog, the little dog that you was kissing or you. Which one is it? Is it you or is it that little dog that's 1 year old that you just went and registered today? Did you not think we was going to look it up? Did you not think we couldn't find out? Did you not think that the baddest blogger was not going to look up where you went and registered that little dog? Yes, I'm roasting your dog because your dog is part of you. Your dog is your family, and I'm roasting everybody in your family on tonight. Okay, word on the curve, this girl right here, this girl right here, this girl right here, this girl right here, here she go, here she go, here she go. We found out who she is, we found out where she live, we found out where she stay, we found out how old she is, and we also found out that she is a dangerous liar. I'm talking about a Carly Russell type liar. Well, she pulled up yesterday at Miss Ken Cook's restaurant. And she thought that you know, she was gonna be able to go in and get some of that good old chicken, that good old macaroni and cheese, and that good old food that Miss Ken them down there throwing down. And she found out that she would have to leave the dog outside. You act like Miss Ken told you to put the dog in the dumpster. You act like she told you to put the dog in the trash can. You act like she told you to put the dog out there on the side of the damn road. All she said was, baby, take the dog in the car, come back in here, order your food. We'll even bring it out for you. But you didn't want to do that. And we know she not lying about you turning up and being quiet as a church mouse when you got up in that goddamn car, because you all up on our Facebook pages, all in the comments, all on our DMs, crying and spiraling out of control. I found out who your mama and them is, and I'm going to call her and ask her if she know that you down here in North Carolina finna get your ass monkey stomped, because you all up in these people DMs like nobody know your tag number, and don't nobody know you the only one riding around town with that big ass crack in the front of that bumper after you done hit somebody. We know your insurance bad. You a straight A student but can't get a straight job. How you on the dean's list but cannot spell? Don't blame it on typos in the iPhone, man. You just cannot spell. How in the world is you out here talking about you on the straight A list, the principal list, and the honor roll list, and you out here slow than Miami? Like Kaya said, slow Miami. You slower than Miami. How is it that you out here in these streets, little bitty girl, little Vienna, little potted meat smelling that little girl? We saw that little pamper down there that you had on the floor for that little ass dog that you said with your service dog. Girl, if you had a seizure, that dog wouldn't know what the fuck to do. That dog is scared. That dog, matter of fact, I would be scared to be your fucking service dog. Who want to be your service dog? Girl, them dog, you gonna drive them dogs crazy. If you act like how you was acting with us, with them damn dog, girl, that dog ain't gonna know what to do. That dog ain't gonna know what to do. The dog ain't gonna know what to do. You gonna have that dog running in walls. You gonna have that dog trying to jump out the window. Girl, that dog gonna be running out in traffic. That dog gonna wish it was dead. It was gonna wish it wasn't even born. Fucking with you. Who want to be your service dog? Huh? That dog will be telling you to shut the hell up, trying to help you, because the doctor said you talk too much. The doctor said that your mouth don't shut up, that you need train tracks on your teeth and not, you know, braces. Girl, that dog gonna lose its damn mind. That dog don't even have a brain big enough to deal with your crazy ass. They should have kept you locked in that goddamn room, locked up like a cockpit on the motherfucking plane. They done let you run out of here. You done ran out, done got in the car, done drove your ass down to Miss Ken Cook's soul food restaurant, thought you was finna get some food, cussed her out, said you want to whoop her ass. And I'm like, damn, if you like my food, baby, why you so angry? But when Miss Ken Cooks, you know, ran up on your stinking ass, you didn't want to do nothing but say, oh, I'm 23, I'm 23, I'm 23. And then go message me and thought I was going to put it up. No, you shouldn't have ran up on her. You should have ran up in her business with you and that little dog. Okay. So y'all already know who we talking about. Okay. We talking about her right here. The craziest thing on the internet right now. Okay. She looked just like this picture. When she found out that fake ass certificate for her dog, this is how she was laughing when I caught her ass. Yeah, when I dropped that story tonight, okay, early today, that post of you faking them screenshots. Yes, girl, we caught you. We caught you with the fake ass screens. I went and registered today. We're gonna talk about it. So, anyways, y'all don't know who this is. Let me tell y'all who this little girl is. Now, she's 23 years old. The people hit me up from New Haven, Connecticut, and told me that she's a thief. I'm gonna read y'all the message. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up because I ain't got to rely on nobody. But I will not be revealing my sources. I don't reveal my sources around here. Okay, all my sources are protected. All right. So, you know, she been running around claiming, you know, John C. Smith University with Connecticut tags on. They say she a AKA, but the AKAs say they don't know her, and you know they will not act like this out here in these streets. Well, anyways, her name right here is Mariah Callahan. Okay, Callahan. Okay, Her mama and them named her some crazy person name, okay? So she went up there to Charlotte the other day, and she went inside of Miss Ken Cook's business with her dog, no bigger than the hand right here. We believe it's the dog that she was kissing all in the mouth instead of going to get her a man and getting a room, okay? Well, Miss Ken Cooks laid her flat out. I'm gonna play this video while I try to get Miss Ken on the line and see if she want to come up here and just give us a little bit about what happened. But this little ratatouille right here, this little roach, okay, decided that she saw our comment in the comment, me making 3 comments. I'm weak. I'ma find that dog. I'ma run them plates. She took them 3 comments and she have lost her mind. She is going crazy. She is spiraling. She is on the floor licking the cement. She is eating dirt. She got her feet, her toes in her mouth. She cutting her toenails with them braces in her motherfucking mouth. She is losing her motherfucking mind. She cannot see. She needs some milk in her motherfucking eyes, and ain't nothing fall but rain. I mean, she is just going crazy out here. And I know she's 23 years old, little girl. But you need to sit the fuck down, okay? Because we don't know who you are. All we know is that you riding around this bitch in a busted up Honda or whatever the fuck that car is, with a baby diaper, with a dog diaper in the motherfucking floorboard of the passenger seat, crying about your dog being your service dog. Girl, that dog would not know what to do if you had a seizure or you had a stroke. You couldn't even put a vest. You can't even rest your thumb on that small ass dog that they said came in there no bigger than a cockroach. And I'm not lying. That's what she said in the comments when I said it, that it wasn't no bigger than a cockroach. But it's the fact that you said it was a service dog, and it was not a service dog. Okay. It was your baby cockroach that you be bringing around with you. And you went online to try to file that fake ass certificate or whatever it is, talking about that's your stress dog. Girl, go get you a stress ball and squeeze that bitch, squeeze that bitch, squeeze that bitch, squeeze that bitch, squeeze that bitch. So it can help you with your struggling ass, miserable ass, mentally deranged life. You are out here harassing people, cyber stalking people, communicating threats. And when Miss Ken Cooks ran up on your ass, you didn't want to do nothing. You were scared. You got back in this raggedy ass car, okay, that you still, you ain't got the puzzle piece connected all the way, girl, to make the full bumper. Okay, if you want to make a bumper, you got to find the other piece that's missing in the front of your car right here. And try again. So let me go to Miss Ken Cooks page. Shout out to Miss Ken Cooks up there in Charlotte. Some of the good soul food. I still ain't made it up there yet, but I'm gonna get up there. Miss Ken Cooks got this video up here. Oh, Miss Ken said 99.5, and she's still trying to keep that 99.5. I know that's right. Let me share this screen. Look at that 99.5. 99.5. I know that's right, Miss Ken. One thing for sure, I stay on top of Ken. I know that's right. So anyway, Miss Ken Cooks, a lot of people was in her restaurant today. She posted this video. The police was called, told old girl that can be done. You are trespassing. You are trespassing. Miss Ken said she was out there for 315. Call her 315. She been out there for 315. You've been sitting out here in this woman's parking lot all this time, and then people had the nerve to try to say Miss Ken was antagonizing. No. She was trolling. We had a right to troll you in front of my business when you could have left before the police got there. You wanted to be messy. You is messy. Your face messy, girl, because we already checked it out. It looks swole, like for real. You need to go get that shit reduced. Get that fluid withdrawn from your face and get up out of my inbox. And let me say this, bitch, if in one of your pump pussy ass homeboys or whoever you think you know, bitch, come anywhere near my properties, they will be dead on a motherfucking arrival, bitch, because you ain't got no business pulling up to my goddamn place, just like you ain't had no business pulling up to Miss Ken Cook's restaurant with that stinking ass dog, okay, that's pissing and shitting on your motherfucking flow. Girl, go get your car fixed, okay? I ain't never seen a pretty, you all right looking, but, if you're going to hop out a Honda, please don't look like your car. Okay, you don't need to be up here busted like your damn car. Okay, no. And men, if you see a pretty woman out there and she's single, ask her, tell her you'll fix that car for her. I got that car. I'm on that car note there. I pay that car. You know what I'm saying? But girl, you ain't got no man. Where's your man? Where's your man? You think I'm gonna have my baby out there riding around with a Honda like this? We finna put this bitch in the shop. And we finna go get a goddamn car for Enterprise or $1. You riding around this bitch with the headlight finna fall out. Bitch, if you go 45 miles per hour, the headlight is going it's gonna disconnect itself and it's gonna fall out. Girl, go fix this car. Who you done hit? You done scrubbed up against somebody black car because that look like some black car paint on it. You done been in a wreck. You ain't got no insurance. That's why Miss Ken said run them tags. Girl, Miss Ken Cooks was roasting you so bad. They said, fuck them damn expired tags. Let her go. Let her go. Go. Get on. How you out here with Connecticut tags with your car looking like this? How you in front of, how you got them dark tinted windows on a white car like this? Look, just look at this. Just look at this. Just if somebody would have kicked your bumper and told you to get the fuck out they got their parking space, that whole bumper would have fell. Oh my gosh. So yeah, she needs some Gorilla Glue. She need that kind of glue that they be showing on the late night commercials. Y'all know the late night commercials, right? That they be showing. They be hooking on to this strong ass shit and saying, oh, it's not gonna break. Oh, it's gonna stay. That's probably what she got going on. You know what I'm saying? But girl, all that talking you doing, I'm surprised you ain't went and got you a new car today. I mean, all that shit talking you been doing. You ain't got no car, nigga still ain't picked you up. Kissing a dog in the mouth. I got a dog kisser. Girl, you up here kissing let me put this picture up here. You up here kissing a dog. You tongue kissing a dog. I cannot argue with nobody like that. You already lost. Well, let me put this picture up here of her kissing this dog in the fucking mouth. This right here should be like, this right here should be a charge. This should be like crimes against nature type of shit. Okay. You sit up here kissing a dog in the mouth. Did y'all see that picture of her kissing that dog in the mouth? Let me show y'all this real quick. Hold on. Where is it at? Here you go, right here. Okay, let me put this right here. Look at her. Look at her. She kissing a dog in the motherfucking mouth. She's not a dog catcher. She's a dog kisser. Girl, that dog. Now, this is the, I believe this is the little service dog that she don't win and register today. Still telling her she can buy her certificate and get it shipped to her. Girl, that dog can jump through the motherfucking hula hoops that you wearing. Okay. That dog can do Olympics through them hula hoops. That's how small that dog is. But for you to be sitting up here kissing a dog that lick the ground, sniff trash, lick trash. Okay. And that dog probably over there licking your pussy. But you know, I ain't gonna tell the people about that. You was nasty, you was sick, you are a dog kisser, girl. And you know, they should have never showed me this picture. Look at you over there kissing that dog. Why you won't kiss a man like that? Why you got to pick up an innocent animal? Do that dog want your nasty ass lips on him? The dog said, did you suck any dick before you kissed me? You over there. I ain't gonna say it. Let me go. Girl, what you in that? You is nasty to be out here kissing a fucking dog. To be out here in these streets kissing a dog. You is nasty as hell. And the baddest blogger want to tell you, girl, you nasty. You don't need to be kissing no dog. Okay? Go find you a man to kiss. Okay? Why you didn't kiss them fists that they were serving over there at Kinko's? Girl, they said your ass got in that car and locked the doors, rolled the window up, put the door lock on and the window lock on. They said you had child. They said you had child safety lock on the driver. Girl, they said that nigga rigged ass Honda you had over there. They said, girl, you had child safety on all 4 doors over there at Ken Cook's parking. Rolled the windows up. You should have put that bumper up so they didn't try to crawl through that little bumper to get to your ass. Why you ain't, glue that bumper together? They said that you had to call home to Connecticut to get somebody up there to unlock your car door because when the police got there because you was too scared to get out while Miss Ken was out there filming. Was you scared of the camera or was you scared of Miss Ken? And it's bad today when you scared of the camera and not the person that's holding it and calling your ass out. But anyway, she went down to Ken Cook's, had a lot to say or whatever. So we're going to go to the video and we're going to listen to what Miss Ken Cook's had to say. She was roasting her ass down to the ground. Then I'm about to call Miss Ken to see if I can get her up here for a minute.
Now she don't go to John C. Smith. She been repping John C. Smith for almost 2 hours. This is very weird. The sad part about it, she was walking out the door and she turned around and called me a bitch and told me she was gonna sue me. Then she threatened to hit me. Hold on, y'all. I want you to get out for Facebook Live, sweetheart. You've been here since 3:15. Y'all won't believe this shit. This is what we go through, y'all. Look at this. Show them your fucking service dog. Shut up. She called the police. Let down your window so they can see you. You been out all day? Look, y'all. She been here since 3:15. 3:15. And I ain't worrying about you hitting me because God knows I go to jail on live, sweetheart. I'm gonna go to jail on live, sweetie. Chill out. She been here since 3:15 in a 15-minute parking space because I won't allow her puppy in here that's this big. She says a service dog. She called the police on me. We go through some shit. When I tell you I go through some shit here, I go through some shit here. She been repping John C. Smith. Get out so they can see you. Why? You don't want them to see you? She called me a bitch because I wouldn't allow it. Come on, I'm going to make you famous. Get out. Get out and call me another bitch. We're at 138 people already. Get out. She called me a bitch, y'all, because I won't let her dog in here. And her car was running the whole time. All she had to do, the car is here, the building is here. All she had to do is put the dog in the car and come back and order her food. But yet and still, she called me a bitch and she threatened me. She keep repping John C. Smith with a Connecticut tag. I think the girl on drugs. She been here since 3:15, y'all. She called the police. Here, let them see you, sweetheart. She don't want y'all to see her now. See y'all later, Pop. I'm gonna make her famous. She said she gonna put me on TikTok. Cause that girl on drugs, man. Here come the police right here. She called the police. Here they go, baby. Come here. Here go the police. Get out the car. The cops is here. Come on. The police here 3:15.
Not 3:15.
Come on, show them your service dog and your papers. She said she gonna sue me because I'm not allowing her dog to come into Ken Cook's.
Go 12.
How y'all doing? This lady been here since 3:15. We told her we didn't allow pets. We not pet friendly. Her car was already running. So we told her to take the dog to the car. She decided to call me a bitch. She said she wanted to fight. And she been here since 3:15. Starting trouble. All because I don't want her dog. Look at her dog. That is not a service dog. The dog is that big. Show them your service dog and your paper, sweetie.
That's fine.
Yeah, she threatened us. All of us was out here. She threatened me. I just told her, put the dog in the car. She had the car running. She had the car running the whole time. It's something wrong with her. She kept on saying she a student at John C. Smith. She got a Connecticut tag. She don't hit somebody right there. It's just going bad.
It's just going bad.
She need to go to mental health.
She do.
And then she said, well, I'm not going to drag you because your food is good and I am really hungry. But my dog can't come in. No, your dog can't come in here. And that's my rule, and that's been my rule. This is my building. Don't I have every right to refuse? Run that tag.
She was just saying she wanted to.
Oh, yeah, she called me. She turned around, called me a bitch in front of all these people and said that she wanted to fight. And my sister told her, she too old to fight you, but I will. Then she jumped up in the car and she started calling all these people, being all on, talking about she going to put stuff on Twitter and TikTok. I don't know what's wrong with her. Yeah, she tried to back up. You seen that? She been hitting shit. Look. Look, y'all. Yes, I do. I want y'all to run that tag too. Something bad wrong with this little girl. Something bad wrong with her. She was repping John C. Smith. She's crazy.
The name of the restaurant is Ken Cook.
Kenyatta. K-E. Perry, P-E-R-R-Y. Y'all good, April? She don't. 7.
Maybe the food must be good because they got, maybe they got them going crazy.
We don't want you back here. You are your little service dog. JCSU, ma'am. Hey, baby, how y'all doing? Go on in there and get y'all something good to eat. She can't eat. Bye, bitch. Your mama. Your mama, hoe. Your mama. You seen that? You seen she?
Yes, it's a show.
Thank you. Bye, you hungry bitch. Fuck you and your dog in front of the police. Back up. Back up, hoe.
I'm weak.
Look at the police laughing. Even the police laughing at you. TikTok, what's up? Yeah, she hungry. She say, I'm hungry. You can cook. Yeah. You got 568 on here. Okay. Any of my police friends run this. 588. Look at the little service dog. Okay. Okay. Y'all, I'm gone, y'all.
So that was the end of that video. Now, as you can see, the girl is talking about her dog as a service dog. Miss Ken is selling her dog as a service dog. Now, she said she didn't call the police. Miss Ken called the police, but the police got called. At the end of the day, there was nothing that the police could do because Miss Ken Cooks has every right to say you and your mutt cannot come in, okay? And Miss Ken also, you heard her say that the girl was like, your food is good, but my dog can't come in. No, your dog cannot come in. You know, why would you want to? I mean, this is not Walmart or the airport. This is a restaurant. Like y'all be letting y'all dogs jump on y'all counters, let them sit in the sink while you washing meat and cutting potatoes. Like, what the fuck y'all got going on? Girl, this is not Connecticut. They may do that shit up there where y'all eat and dine at, but in Charlotte at Ken Cooks, they don't do that, ma'am. They don't let dogs with all that hair. Look at all that hair. I would have told her, yeah, if you shave that dog, you could come up in here. But she didn't want to shave the dog. So anyways, so I made my little comments because I follow Ken Cooks. You know, I made my little comments or whatever. Well, Shorty got in my DMs on the Facebook page, and she was mad. You know, she was mad. And I'm gonna put up here what she said. And then we're gonna get to this fake stuff she did today. Okay, so she messaged me at 11:57 last night. She said, "Good afternoon. I have footage from the Ken Cook situation. Should I send videos here since you want to be funny in my comments or whatever?" So our automated message responds back. Boom. Post since she sends the video. Post them all. Mad because I call her a bitch after she disrespected me. I said, "You threatened her though. She had a right to run up on your ass." She said, "I didn't though." I said, "No, you threatened her. Everybody already told me." So she says, hold on. So then she says, no, excuse me. I said, "Why you ain't post the video?" She said she blocked me. Tell her to unblock me so I can tag her. Girl, do you see why people are blocking you? You are a fucking menace. Like, you are crazy. You need to go get checked. Like, your mama could make some extra money, and she probably could use the extra money too by getting you a check. Or is it too late because you're 23? Okay, I said, I got eyes everywhere, little 23-year-old. Not telling her nothing. So then she sent me another video. Why would I threaten her over a dog? I said, have a nice night, ma'am. There's no story here. She said, like I said, talk about that weird ass folks. But she said, but don't nobody want to fight though. Or but don't nobody want to fight. You sit on Facebook talking about people, baby. I get paid to talk about you. Okay. You have no life. I do have a life. That's why the page is not active as much as I would like for it to be, because I have a life. You don't want this. I will roast you in your mutt down to the ground. Ken Cushion to bust you in your motherfucking shit. And I heard you got warrants too. That's what I told her about. She laughed. She didn't though. I'm gonna show the video because you was up there to my, I'm 23 though. Like I said, go ahead and post me and see what's gonna happen. Weird ass motherfuckers bust me in my mouth, laugh my ass off. Like, she's really slow and retarded. Okay, how the fuck that sound? Look, girl, please leave me alone. She said, I can have somebody beat your ass. Just let me know what you want to do. Okay, let me post you now. So then she said, do that and link up with me too. She want to link up with me. What? So you can say I tried to rape you or something like that? You lying ass heifer. That's what I mean. What? Why you want to link up? So you can say somebody tried to hit you or something? Because you know them the type of games. I mean, you giving them type of games. Like, look how the fuck you going off over some food. Girl, over some fucking food. You crying over fucking food. You about to get beat up over food. Why the fuck is you running money to Miss Ken Cooks when you need to be running your goddamn money down there to the insurance place or whoever fixing that car for that deductible so they can go ahead and fix that raggedy ass shit that you got? Because I'd be damned if I'm paying a car note and the motherfucking car is fucked up like this. While you around here riding around with liability, bitch, you finna be riding around here with none. So I just want y'all to know, be careful, because people will be riding around this bitch with no insurance because it's about to go up. And we already know who don't have none. Okay. So y'all live for social media. That's all you can do is post me. Then she sit up here talking about we don't got no life. Girl, you responded to every single person that commented yesterday. And then you was inboxing people. She said, that's all you can do is post me. Laugh my ass. I laugh my ass. So post how I'm a straight A student. Yeah, and I'm posting how you're dumb and you're retarded. And you need to be locked the fuck up in a cockpit, okay? With all the locks, okay? Like they had on Soul Plane when they was locking that cockpit up. Y'all want to tarnish my character so bad. You have no character. It's already been tarnished, girl. Ain't nobody did shit to that lady. She's clearly on drugs. No, you are clearly on drugs. And we can tell it by this picture, girl. This picture is giving a lot of words, okay? Drunk, crazy, slow, retarded, high. Matter of fact, I forgot to get you something. I went and bought something for you today, too. Hold on, baby. I went and bought something for you. Y'all, give me one moment. Let me go get this, what I bought for you. Y'all, let me go get what I bought for you. Let me show you what I got for you, shawty. Let me Let me show you. Let me show you what I done went and bought for you, shawty. Now I went to the dope man today. What's your name? Let me pull her name up. I don't even know this slow ass girl's name. Mariah. Okay, hold on. Can y'all hear me? Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Okay, hold on. I went to the dope man today and I had to go get you. Let me get your name again, because what's your name? Mariah. What's your name? Mariah? Mariah Lynn. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was hungry. All right, let me see. So I went to the dope man, Mariah, and I went to go get you a little bit of powder, girl. I went to the dope man today and went and got you a little line. You want me to line this shit up for you on this Bible? I'm sorry, not the Bible, girl, but I went and got you a little powder today, because hopefully this will make you go to sleep. Because people that don't have their weed, they don't have their drink, and don't have their shit, they liable to go off on you. Okay, anybody that y'all know that smoke, and they ain't had their little fits for the day, run and get it to them. It's like a diabetic, baby. They need some candy. Okay, going to get them there. But baby, I went and got you a little bit of this today. Okay, I went and got you a little powder, little line. You can't come back to Ken Cook's, girl, so we can't leave it out there in the parking lot for you to pick up. But when it got you a little powder today. When it got your little powder today, got your little line. You can make about 5 lines with this, baby. How many lines you can make with this? Girl, we went to go get you a little powder. I went to go get you a little powder today, girl. We got you a little powder. You got a little powder. So when you go back to that dorm over there at John C., you got to get you a little powder today, girl. We went to the dope man, all right? Went to the dope man, Dope Boy 95, Amex on. All right. So she was in our DMs with that stuff. So today I'm getting my hair done. I'm getting my hair done and my phone ring and I get a message. I look at the message and they sent me a screenshot of this right here. Can y'all see that? Now, this right here is a ESA, emotional support animal alleged certificate. I just put her picture right there because she's just so funny. You get what I'm saying? I put her picture right there, but listen, obviously this is not the dog that she had that she was kissing. This is another dog, but look how small that dog is. Now, they say a service dog, can be any size, age, or whatever, and that may be true. I don't, I didn't really look into everything like that, but I know an emotional support dog is very, very much different than an animal service dog. Okay, girl. And we see why you need that emotional support dog. We see why. We see why your psychiatrist said, go get you a dog today. Okay, y'all, can y'all hear me now? I told y'all every time. Hold on, y'all. I know I'm muted. I know. Y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Hold on, y'all. I told y'all. Hold on. Something's going on. Well, anyways, what I was saying is that she had made a registration. I don't know what's going on with this thing right here, but anyways, she had said that she registered the dog. Let me just show y'all. Let me just run back through this for y'all. Okay, so anyways, y'all, she had went online today. I was at get my hair done. She went online today and she registered this dog today, okay, as an emotional support animal, which is different than a service animal, okay? So I did a little digging and I found out that she actually registered the dog today, but in her screenshot, she had put an emoji over the date, like the day of the registration. So when they sent that to me, I was already like, it looked fake. But then if you look up here where it says the registration number, you can see it says ES4769077. So let me hold on. I'm about to put this up here so y'all can see. We finna run it real quick so y'all can see. Okay. Hold on. Let me put this in here. ES4769077. Just copy it. Look, this is the registered animal. Animal name, Mila Callahan. Owner, Mariah Callahan. Registration type, North Carolina. Animal type, emotional support animal. Registration number, right? Because this is the registration number that she put up, that she had up there. Okay. So then the registration date, June 12th, 2025. That's today. That's today. That's today. Birthday, 4/12/24. 2 pounds. That's the dog. Let me see if we can zoom in. That's the little dog right there. That dog can't even see with all that. I love dogs though. But that's the dog. Okay, let me go to order now and see. Oh, so the emotional support animal MHP consultation. If approved, animal lives with you regardless of no pet policies. Animal is exempt. Now, everybody say this is a scam. Animal is exempt from pet security deposits, pet rent, and other pet fees. Yorkie mitts, yeah. Animals, free legal support from our in-house program. In order to prove that an animal is an emotional support animal, you may be asked to provide documentation from a licensed professional doctor, psychiatrist, or other. Oh, so does this company hire like legitimate doctors and stuff? Because online you can actually like do a checkup with a doctor from California, and they can prescribe you medication and everything, stating that the animal is an essential part of a treatment for a disability. A landlord business may ask you to provide a doctor's note, or they could deny you and your emotional support animal. All airlines require this letter. So, I mean, this is where she got it from. Okay. That's where she got it from. And their website is usserviceanimals.org. She's a liar. And it's like, girl, you did all. Now, what if you would have got drugged across the parking lot yesterday, going to the people businesses like that with that carrying on? Then when the camera come out, you don't want to say nothing. You just want to stay in the car till the police come when you could have just pulled the fuck off. But the raise hell about your dog being a service animal, and then for you to turn around today to register them, not as a service animal, because you know that dog ain't no damn service animal, but as an emotional support person, and then claim that you are a straight A student and you smart, girl, you is dumb. You didn't even look up the difference between an emotional support animal and a service dog. I mean, girl, put up that report card. How about that? Put up the dean, you on the dean, like put up something good. I ain't seen her today. I caught you in a lie. Then you gonna try to come for me. Girl, all this stuff is public records. Did you not think we could pull it up? Or did you just thought I was just a content creator? And I told y'all about referring to me as a content creator. I'm not a content creator, okay? This may consider content. This is newsworthy, okay? But at the end of the day, ma'am, lady, go back to New Haven. You need to be expelled or drop the fuck out of school because you're going to graduate and you're going to be dumb. You know, I mean, I don't understand people that go to college for degrees. Their parents have to pay all that money back or whatever the case may be. And then you go right into McDonald's for a job. Don't do nothing with the degree. Like, you wasted your life doing what? And college is not for everybody. College is not for everybody. Just because a person go to college don't mean they better than you. Some of them there go because they want to get a career, get a good job, have an education. Some go because their parents want them to go. Some go just to go to the parties and just to meet new people, to get out of the city, because we tired of seeing the same old people like you, ma'am. And some people just want to work regularly. Regular job, you know. So at the end of the day, stop going to people's businesses with that dog and it's not no service dog. Okay, that's all I got to say. Okay, I think I said enough about you. I don't want to do you too bad. Okay, because they already said, oh, we damaging your already low self-esteem, and we hurting your feelings, girl. We don't care about your feelings. You sat up here, called us bitches and motherfuckers and pump pussies and, you know, beat my ass and all this stuff. You must have thought about your people being DOA. She thought about it. She must have thought about her people being DOA, just like Leandra Johnson thought about it too, being DOA. Y'all hoes thinking, ain't you? Use your brain, bitch. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Listen, y'all, we will be back live next week. Sometime, okay. The next live you probably will, I'll be broadcasting live from New York City, but I will probably I'll probably be live. I'm just trying to wait. I'll be gone sometime next week, so y'all gonna have to wait it. But we definitely will be live next week. All right. So listen, ma'am. Listen. Oh, Miss Ken Cook's here. Hold on. Just saw your comments. Let me see. Hold on. You wanted to say something? Let's see if Miss Ken wanted to say something. I know earlier when I was calling, she was still trying to close. I don't know what's going on with my mic. There's always something going on with this mic. I'm about to get a new cord. Okay, let me see. Okay, she says she here. Hold on. Let me send you. I'm gonna send you a link, Miss Ken. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a link. Okay, I just sent you a link. Okay, y'all, hold on. Okay, shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Y'all, it's probably gonna get crazy in the next couple of weeks. Man, I got so much stuff I got to push out. People gonna be mad. They're gonna be like, oh, this happened 8 months ago. I don't care. People need to know. Okay, hold on, y'all. We're gonna see if Miss Ken gonna come up. I'll send her the link. Let me see. Somebody said service dogs are trained. Wait, Miss Carrie said service dogs are trained. Most of sport animals are just animals people get to. Yeah, she need her dog. Like, where was the dog at last night? Is where I want to know. Like, where was your dog at last night? Like, why weren't you squeezing the dog last night and holding the dog last night when you was spiraling and going out of control? Oh, she said the link is not work. Okay. Hold on. Well, shit, Miss Ken will try another day. Look, I'm ready to get off now. I've been on too damn long. I'm sorry. I've been on too long. I'm ready to go now. But anyways, y'all, I was gonna get Miss Ken Cooks up here, but I got too much. I need to go. But anyways, Miss Ken made some videos. Make sure y'all go support her business in Charlotte. I don't know the address off the top of my head, but go to her Facebook page. She's right in here. Miss Ken Cooks. Click on her page and you know, go support her business. Her food is really good, is what everybody is saying, which is what old girl was pulling up to get her some food. And it's like, girl, why are you beefing with the person who cooking the food and the person that sell the good food? It's like y'all always got a problem or beef with the people who got the good stuff, you know. And so another reason why Miss Ken Cooks posted the video is because she wanted to show y'all what she deal with. You know, when you already got a good business, successful business, people try to hate. They try to send people over there to see what y'all cooking, who working, what's going on, being messy. And, you know, it's just, this is the type of people that she has to deal with. Like this crazy girl from New Haven, Connecticut. And it's like, girl, go to bed. You need to go see a psychiatrist, please. Like, for real. Like, you really, really, really need some help. But y'all, I just want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in on tonight. We are gone. If anything pop off, I will be back live to let y'all know. Make sure y'all share the video. We got to get back into the algorithm. Facebook does, I don't know why Facebook is not notifying everybody to let them know that we're live. People are getting it 2 hours late. People are getting it after we come off air. I don't know. Something is just so crazy with this page. Like, it be glitching. I don't know what they have going on. Facebook got a lot of stuff going on. They changing a lot of stuff. I mean, even when you search stuff on Facebook, like, the layout of it, I'm like, why is the layout like this? But if you get on the computer, it's the normal layout. But on your phone, I'm like, why y'all got the layout like this? So, and then they're pushing out employees and making a lot of stuff AI. So it's going to be computerized. It's just going to be a lot of issues. But I just want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure you go to our website, the ncb.com, to catch up on all the latest stories. If you have a story that you think the public should know about, go to newstip@the-ncbeat.com. Excuse me, email newstip@the-ncbeat.com. If you want to show your love for the page or for me, you can always Cash App. It's GDJ, the CEO, or the Zelle is right there, gjackson@the-ncbeat.com. Y'all, I'm finna go get me another sandwich or manwich, okay? I'm hungry. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Peace.